Here we are with Farley, and Farley just arrived. Farley is, I believe he's 12 weeks, he might be 14 weeks. He's just a puppy, and I don't know what he knows. I think he knows nothing. Sit! No, he knows nothing. I'm quite certain he hasn't been on this planet for very long. Down, you know down. No, he doesn't know down. And of course he's not going to know what, let's see. Come! Oh, but he's not coming to the command, he's just coming to that tone of voice. But he's just a puppy. Come! He's turned around and looked, he grabs the leash. Yeah, he obviously has no training, he's just a puppy. And he just arrived today. He's already learned how to grab the leash when he's on a leash, and that's got to stop. So we'll show you what he's like in a few weeks when we're done. So we're having him sit, and we practice this greeting routine a lot. If he pops up, you just say no. He is a little hyper little puppy. He has problems focusing sometimes. You reset him. It's always very gentle, so it's just a couple of like little taps to put him back. I step away from him. I hand a little treat to the person that I want him to go say hello to, and then he waits till I come back next to him. I'm going to pat his chest. See how the leash is not tight? I'm not restraining him. He's really waiting for me to pat his chest and say, go say hi. Gets a treat. The other hand pets the dog. There you go. Come. And call him back to come. And then I'm going to step into him, have him sit. We're just going to do it 3 times to show you just how to do it. If you do it exactly like this with as many people as possible, and then you can start throwing in a sit stay where you walk around him just to make it a little bit tougher for him, therefore developing a better focus, of course. Helping him develop a better focus, and he waits. See if he even tries to move. You have to go back to where the step you were at before. He really has to wait until you say, go say hi. He gets petted. Come. Good. One hand gets a treat, the other hand pets. Just one more time here. Sit. Step away. This part's very important because when you step away and give the treat to the person that you're greeting, he has to stay in a sit stay. He gets very used to staying there no matter where you go. And as you can see, I'm doing a complete walk around both way type of down stay there. He's waiting until I come back next to him. I'm going to pat his chest, say, go say hi. Good. Come. And he's good. He's come back to me so many times in this that he, instead of jumping all over somebody when I'm doing this greeting routine, he's way more likely, since he's anticipating what's happened so many times before, he's going to come running back to whoever's doing this with him, which is what we want. We want all roads to lead back to you, and we want to be able to call him to come away from any situation, whether it's a person he's bothering, jumping all over, or a child, the cat, he's in the trash, anything that he's doing that you want to get him away from, use your command to get him out of that situation and bring him to you. So much better than the old way, which would be to run over and correct him and chase him around and try to grab him because he's going to run away. So even in a situation like this where he really just wants to go over and say hi to this person again, if I just tap like that enough times, and he really wants to go say hi to him, he'll eventually come back to me. But it's so much easier to just say, come. Good. We'll do that one last time. Come. There we go. Good. Practice makes perfect. Keep practicing with him. He'll just get better and better. Okay. Sit. So we walk him up to the mat. We have him sit. Always having the leash loose. You're never restraining him because that will make him have anxiety, and if you restrain him with the tight leash, he's going to pull against it and everything will start falling apart. So it's always a loose leash. You're going to lean over here with your right hand, pat his chest, and say, make sure he waits, and say, go to your mat if you want to say that. And then when he gets there, you say, down. He goes into a little down. Don't worry if it's a little bit crooked like that. It's still very good for a little puppy like this. And Good. I'm just putting these little treats down on the mat for him to have. We're just practicing a basic downstay right here where I step out, way out in front of him. He stays there. Good. I go back to him. I give him the reward. Now I'm going to start walking around him. The beauty of this exercise is that once you practice this for a while, and he gets really used to doing this with you, then he'll do it without the mat as well. And of course, he can do all this stuff. He can do a downstay without the mat now as well. But we always teach the dogs by using the mat, and then good. Then we start. We never stop doing the mat. We always do the mat a little bit more every day, in a more and more maybe I wouldn't say stressful, but a place where there's more and more distractions happening, just so that he's always getting a little bit better. He's always able to stay in a downstay. Good. In the presence of more and more distractions, or ever increasing levels of distractions. You have children, you have a cat running around. So this is what has helped develop his tolerance to stress and his ability to stay focused, is just starting simple like this in a yard with nothing going on, and then working up to good, being out in public, and you'll see at your house him staying in a downstay with the children and all the other stuff that's going on in your house happening. And we're just doing this basic thing here. We're just to show you how to do this. We're practicing this basic downstay where no matter where I go, he stays there. And then we always reward it in the same way. Come out in front of him. You got the little treat, whatever you're using, and you're just going to place it right in front of him. He has to wait respectfully. See how he's waiting? If he doesn't wait, you say no. Pull back. Good. He waits until you set it there. You simply let go of the reward, withdraw, and then he can take it off the mat. That's a big part of this exercise. The delivery of the reward is super important, because if you're tossing it down or if he's grabbing it out of your hand, that's not a focused little dog. What you want is him being focused and waiting at every step of this exercise, because we're developing a calmness in him by doing this step by step, making sure every step of this exercise, good, is done in a calm way, which in turn develops calmness in the dog. So you can also do a million other things to test him. You can pull on the leash. He obviously knows that he's not going to get up because he hasn't been released, and he gets a reward for that. Good. Make sure you always say good at the moment he takes the treat as well, because we want, when there's no treat, we want him to hear that command or that word good and have a great feeling about it. And we're going to release him now. He's always waiting for you to come back next to him, stand next to him, pat your leg and say, okay. He gets up off the mat, you have him sit. And see how calm he is? The release of the exercise, releasing him off the mat, should be very calm as well, because you want to have the ending of this be, very calm. Go, because if you have this great exercise that you do and he's doing great, and then you just say, okay, and he jumps up and he runs around, you're going to destroy that fragile calmness that we're trying to develop in him. And most of that exercise will be irrelevant, because it's all about how you end. It's all about how you end the sit stay, the down stay, all of that, because that's what he remembers. He remembers that he ended in a calm way, and over the days and weeks that pass, he just gets calmer and calmer because you're handling him in a calm way. Okay. When I'm practicing to call him to come to me, I'm always holding the leash in the same way. I do it the same way, so that, and I recommend you do that as well, so that when you do it, it's just like second nature. Left hand leash, right hand reward. That way, after you practice for a while, you just automatically do it that way. It's a very simple way to do it. Put the leash over your wrists, so you're not having to hold on to the leash. You don't have to wrap it up or any of that kind of stuff. You have it on your wrist, so you can't possibly let go of it, and you have that hand free. In a case where you're not calling him away from anything, in this case that I'm just demonstrating how to do this, he's probably going to be staring at you, because after you start practicing this training a lot, he's just going to be kind of hanging out around you, looking at you a lot more. So you're going to have to create your own distraction. The way I'm going to do it is I'm going to toss a little treat. Now he's distracted. Come. Good. And if I wasn't talking to you, I would have done that soon enough. He was already coming back to me before I called him to me. So let's do this again. Hey, bud. Look. Here, take this little treat. Oops. Sticky. Come. So you're always you're always going to call him away from something, or at least call him when he's looking away from you, when he's moving away from you, like when he's chasing a treat, or if he's chasing a cat, come, or something like that. Good. You're always calling him, when you practice, away from something, because the action that's going to happen every time is he's not paying attention to you, he's looking in the other direction. Just even if you just have that, wait for that to happen to call him to you, because that's a lot closer to the real life situation where he's moving towards something, he wants to go over there, and then he hears the command, come. So you're always looking at getting those little scraps. Good. I took that opportunity to call him one more time. And that is the pattern. He hears it, he breaks away from whatever he's moving towards or staring at. He comes running back to you. He runs back to me now because I always do it the same way, and that is to come, back away. Good. When you practice, if you back away quickly as you can, you don't have to back away very quickly, but even if you can't move that quickly, come, just move away. Good. But of course, the quicker you move, the quicker he's going to run towards you, because that's the whole point. When you back away, the dog moves towards you. When you stand still, it's not quite as good. When you move towards him, he's going to run away from you. So there's a lot to this body language thing in dog training. And so your recall is going to be a lot better if, when you practice with a leash and a treat, that you back away the moment you say the recall, and always have a treat. You also notice that I'm calling to a closed target here, because when there's no target, when there's no treat in the target, he's not going to know that. So you're always practicing with a leash and a reward like this, so that when there's no leash and there's no reward, he's still going to come running to you because you practice the right way. So I can still toss another distraction here. No treat. Come. Good boy. Good boy. If you don't have a treat, it's an emergency, and you have to get him to come to you, just love him up extra. He probably won't even miss the fact that he didn't get a treat. But always practice in the way I've just shown you, so that when you really need him to come to you, could save his life someday. He's off leash, running down the driveway or something like that, and because you practice in this way, he'll always come to you off leash. He doesn't know this hand is empty. Also, you notice that when he comes to me, come like that, good. The moment he gets the treat, I say good and pet him. So in a real life situation, when you really need him to do that, you say good and pet him and love him up. And because of the way you've done it with the timing, giving him the treat at the same moment, he wants some water there, he's probably going to think he got a treat. He won't even know it. He won't even miss the fact that he didn't even get a treat. So that's those are the details on how to practice calling him to come to you. Here we go. Sit. Just practicing the little sit command. If you just have a couple of minutes a day, practice a couple of these in different parts of your house or your yard, doing it in a different spot each time. At this point, now that he knows how to do it, is very beneficial, because if you only do it just one place, see how I'm rewarding him? Back next to him, eye contact, he's staring straight up at me as he gets the treat. Good. Say good as he gets the treat. But if you only practice this, and if he pops up, you say no, and just gently ease him back into his little sit stay. If you only practice in one spot, after a while the dog is only good in that spot. So you want to be practicing in different places, so that you're teaching him to generalize better. Dogs don't generalize as well as people do. So you got to practice here and there and all over the place. Once he knows how to do it, you start taking it to different spots, so that he's always getting better. So always be sure that you're practicing at least three different places with your sit stays and down stays. When you want to release him out of a sit stay, you have two choices. To set him free, you just lean over with your right hand, pat his chest and say, go, and he's free. If you're practicing some leash walking stuff, sit, and you want him to stay on the clock and do more training, then you're just going to say, okay, and he's going to walk with you. Come on, bud. That's it. As you can see, the downstay is just like on the mat, but we don't have the mat, so you want to practice on the mat. You want to keep doing the mat exercise, and when you're in the presence of big distractions like children playing and other things, whatever is the craziest thing that could happen in your household, use the mat at first. But if you do that for a while, later on you can do it without the mat. And I'm just showing you that he can do a downstay without the mat as well. Good. He's always going to wait until you come back next to him. Never call him out of a downstay, because that will weaken your downstay. You need to teach him he only gets up one way, and that's when you come back to get him. Anything else that happens, he's rock solid in that downstay and he doesn't move. So you come back next to him, you say, okay, have him sit, and then release him from a calm sit stay, go. Okay, bud, let's go. Come on, buddy. So have him sit before he goes in his crate. This is a little routine that we always do. He's sitting. Nope. See what happens? The door closes. He goes back into a sit stay. He really wants to go in there, but he's been taught that if he wants to go in there, he has to wait for permission. Go. We'll go in there. We always give him a little treat when he goes in. So you can see it's way more than just forcing him into the crate and putting him in his cage. It's an actual tool for training. He sits, he waits. This is a major boundary in his life. This is the boundary to his den. He does perceive this as his den. We feed him inside there. The door is always closed. He gets treats every time he goes out. As you'll see in a second, every time that the hands come in, and when we bring him out, he gets a treat. So in his mind, he has great associations with being in the crate and coming in and out of there. And if we have him wait to come out, and then you saw I had him wait in a sit stay before I sent him in, it becomes a tool to make his training a lot better. And also, if you're the one that very specifically allows him in and out of his den, where the best stuff in his life happens, where he chews on his favorite bones, he gets his treats, that's where he eats, that's where he sleeps. If you're the one doing that, then he's way more likely to do commands for you and come when you call him. So it all fits together. So I'm going to take him out now. And so the way we're doing it here is open the door, he gets a little treat, we hook him up, and he waits. If he doesn't wait and he tries to come out, you just say no and do that. But he'll wait until you say, okay, and he comes out. And then this crate's usually in the house. Then we have him sit, and then we take him outside. Always close this door so that he always needs your permission to go in. Okay.